A very good morning to the director. I'm Owanchi and my supervisor is Medanizawati Win Yusuf. Today I want to present about my FYP topic, which is Industrial Machinery Renting Application. Before we proceed to the presentation, I would like to introduce the topic that to be discussed throughout this session. We'll be following this sequential that I list out in this slide. We start from basic introduction about the company that I work for, followed by the current system they're using in company. Next will be the problem of the current system they're facing by the company, and the proper solution that I want to apply for. Next will be the project objective, project scope, methodology, system design diagram. They related with this project, such as the system overview, use case diagram, class diagram, and ERD diagram. Lastly will be the demo for customer, restrict company, and admit the network and security element will be discussed also in this section. The company that support me for doing this FYP report, which is Pinnacle Genius Berhad, is specializing in construction engineering, project management, and maintenance for the petrochemical industry. Due to the honesty and open communication of Pinnacle Genius, it extends the company's scope to provide renting service for clamp and bonding machinery. In this service, Pinnacle Genius works as the agent or supplier to provide the renting machine for his customer. This is the current system that implemented by Pinnacle Genius. From this diagram, we get to know the customer will contact the Pinnacle Genius director for rent the machinery, and the director of Pinnacle Genius will check the storage of the company after getting all the information or requirement about the machinery they request by the customer. If the storage or the company cannot fulfill the requirement of the customer, only that he will contact with the trade company for asking the renting price and then inform his customer. Once the customer decided to rent, the task or deliver machines can be done by Pinnacle Genius or supplier. Then Pinnacle Genius will request the payment with the customer and make the transaction for the supplier after he receives full payment for the customer. This is the problem of current system they facing by Pinnacle Genius. The first problem they facing by them is lack of information or renting company. And my stakeholder mentioned he need to spend more money to deliver the mission from Johor to Selangor when he received the project in Selangor. This is because he lack of information of renting company which is staying in Selangor. And information of the renting company is only show on their official website, and different rental companies have their own official website. Therefore, he need to spend a lot of time to searching the information of rental company which is nearer by him. But sometimes the information they searching by him also will be the old time one. So he hope that have the applications or system they can collect all up to date information about the rental company, and it can filter out the rental that is nearer with him. The second problem that mentioned by my stakeholder is the fluctuation of renting machinery price. More of the renting machinery system nowadays is limited and no showing detail about the renting price. This cause he cannot maintain the renting price of his company, and some supplier also will giving the different renting price with the same module of the machinery, period of the renting, deliver and deliver location. If the system or application have the list or the detail about the renting price, can be easily for him or his customer to doing the comparison and choosing the more value decision. Lastly, the problem of facing by mostly renting company is to bundle the high maintenance and repairing fee for those machines. and for those machines that only storing in the garage and no use frequently in a year, Dutch he hope have the platform they can using for every renting company to showcase their rental machines in order to promote their market for this kind of business. Therefore, the popular solution is generated to develop a B2B platform for machinery owner to showcase and rent their machinery to another company with minimum price fluctuation. The objective of this project is to develop an online platform that able to identify the requirement of basic renting applications. For example, the functionality of category machinery and list out the detail of machinery is one of the requirements that implement for basic renting application they need to take in count in order to apply in this proper solution. Besides that, for design and develop industrial machinery renting application based on the user requirement can be done by showing the detail of the renting price in order to fulfill the requirement of the user to do the comparison. The last one will be for testing the functionality of the industrial machinery renting applications based on the user requirement to make sure the instant renting system can be work well and fulfill the requirement of the user in order to speed up the process of renting service. This is scope of this project that is already summarizing in this slide. The popular applications is custom made for clinical genius in the neighborhood and is designing for recording management and online renting the lifting machinery. And this applications is focusing on Android device. The methodology that I choosing for building these applications is prototyping modules. They're using the prototype to generate the sample outcome of the applications. They contain all the necessary functionality for basic renting application. The flow of prototyping modules is dividing into 5 small phases, which is planning phase, analysis phase, designing phase, implementation phase, and the last one will be the test and execute phase. In the planning phase, I have meeting with the stakeholder in order to understand his field of business and study the current system of them. For analysis phase, I had interview session with the clinical junior director and do some market surveys with clinical junior customer in order to identify their requirement and expectation for this kind of applications. For designing phase, I use the UML diagram to declare all the design of front end and using the ERD diagram to conclude the design of the back end. In implementation phase, I prepare to use the React Native for developing front-end and MongoDB for developing back-end. For testing and existing phase, I prepare to use the user existing test in order to record the flow. Let us proceed to the system designing diagram. This is a system overview diagram. For this diagram, the customer can find the renting company which is near staying nearer with him with the help of GPS locations. For ranching company that can showcase their ranching machinery and their locations through these applications. An admin can be administrator the system and access the backend data. The email receipt is automated to sending to the customer and ranching company. This is the use case diagram for this system. For this diagram, we get to know the customer can filter and searching for the mission that he or she want to reach. They also can view the retreat company which is nearer with him by allowing the GPS locations, and they also can pay an instant order. They directly sending to the renting company by pushing the notification. For renting company, they can view the order detail and customer information in order to make a decisions to assist or reject the request for this customer and this order. They also can manage the mission in order to upload the new missions, updating the detail of missions, and deleted the missions they already know provided for them. For admin part, they can view the order detail in order to protect the right of customer and rental company. And the admin can manage the machinery category, like add on the new machinery category or delete the machine category. For these applications, the admin can view the analysis reports about the profit that earned by the company, and the admin also can manage the staff records by adding or deleting the staff. And this is the class diagram for these applications. From this diagram, we get to know we have the 7 classes that we need to create it, which is customer class, receipt class, payment class, order class, mission class, renting company class, and admin class. For example, customer class can be using to generate the customer object. They can be create, read, and update the customer detail, and it can also be create and read the order. And the customer object can read the receipts they paying by the customer, and also can upload the payment by select the full payment or deposit payment, and they also can read the renting company that is nearer with them. And this is the ERD diagram of these applications. From this diagram, we get to know he have the 5 table. They will storage all the necessary informations. For example, the customer table is storing all the information about the customer. And now let us proceed to the demonstrations of industrial machinery renting application. network and security element that implement in this application. I plan to use the cloud technology to store all the information of ranging company and customer, and using the email receipt automate technology as the network element to automate the process of sending e-receipt to customer and renter. The security that I will use is login verification, which is implementing OTP authorization to make sure the registered user is very user. I also implement the data encryption. This is because MongoDB they use for backend is supporting TLC and SSL to encrypt the network traffic. I also apply the input or output verifications as security element in order to prevent the injection or insert the improper input for the user to the backend. I also apply the access control for each user based on their role. And I also will implement password hashing to store the hashing value of the password instead of storing the real password at the backend. All for me. Thank you.